The phone rang at 2 a.m. Not vibrated. Ranged. That alone felt wrong. I was halfway across the country by then, in a rented apartment that still smelled like fresh paint and nobody else's memories. My life fit into 2 suitcases and a silence I'd learned to live inside. When the screen lit up, I didn't recognize the number. I almost let it die. Almost. I answered without speaking. Breathing came through first, fast, panicked, familiar. "Please," she said, "I need you." I closed my eyes, not because it hurt. Because it didn't. She was crying, the same way she used to when she wanted something fixed, something undone, something forgiven before it was understood. "I don't know who else to call," she whispered. That was the first lie of the night. I didn't ask what happened. I already knew something had finally collapsed. They always call when the weight becomes too much to carry alone. "I just need you to listen," she said. I looked at the dark ceiling, counted the seconds between her sobs, calculated how long it had taken for the past to catch up. "I can't," I said. Silence. Then her voice changed, confusion first, then fear. "What do you mean you can't?" I didn't answer, because the person who did wasn't me. When she said she needed space, I didn't argue. That surprised her. No pleading. No bargaining. No late-night speeches about love or history. I just nodded and said I understood. Inside, something went very still. Space is never about distance. It's about permission. Permission to test how replaceable you are. She started small, longer replies, shorter calls, excuses that sounded reasonable if you didn't listen too closely. I listened to everything. The pauses, the way her stories reset themselves mid-sentence, the way she avoided details like landmines. I told myself nothing. That was the first smart decision I made. The second was leaving. Different state, different job, new number. I didn't announce it. I didn't frame it as punishment. I let it look like self-preservation. She didn't chase. She never does when she thinks she's winning. Weeks passed, then months. And in the quiet, patterns surfaced. Her schedule suddenly aligned around someone else's availability. Her social media became carefully empty. No tags, no locations, no faces, just fragments designed to look like freedom. I never asked who. I waited for proof to introduce itself. People think investigation is loud. It is. It's watching without being seen. It's letting people grow careless because they believe you've stopped caring. I didn't check her phone. I checked the gaps. Receipts that appeared without context. Calendar entries labeled Jim that ran past midnight. Calls answered in another room with the door closed. I smiled when she told me she missed me. I smiled when she said space was helping. Inside, I cataloged everything. The real confirmation came quietly. A forwarded email she forgot to delete. A shared account she forgot I still had access to. A name that appeared too often to be coincidence. I didn't confront. I ordered a background report instead. Married. 2 kids. Lives 15 minutes from the apartment, she said, was too expensive to leave. That was the moment denial finally starved. The results arrived on a Tuesday morning. I opened them while drinking coffee like it was just another work email. No shaking hands, no racing heart. Facts don't hurt. They clarify. I called her that night. She answered too quickly. "I was just thinking about you," she said. I told her I'd moved. That part was true. I gave her the state, not the address. Her voice cracked. "You didn't tell me. You asked for space." A pause. Then carefully, "Are you mad at me?" I smiled. "No." Another pause, longer this time. "I have something to ask you," I said, "and I already know the answer." Silence. I emailed her the report while we were still on the call. She opened it. I could hear the shift in her breathing, the moment her narrative shattered. She tried to speak, failed, tried again. "It's not. I didn't. You don't understand." "I do," I said. "I waited." She cried, not softly, not performatively. This was real panic, exposure. I was going to tell you, she said. That was my favorite line. I know, I replied. Eventually, after you decided which life you wanted to keep. She begged then, not for forgiveness, for control. She said it didn't mean anything, that she was confused, that she never meant to hurt me. I let her talk herself empty. When she finished, I said, "There's someone else on the line." What? I didn't answer. He did. His voice was calm, older, tired. He thanked me, said he'd suspected, said the kids were asleep upstairs, said he appreciated finally knowing who he was married to. She screamed my name. I ended the call, blocked her number, and turned my phone off. The apartment was silent again. Perfectly. I didn't feel victorious. I felt aligned. Some losses don't need mourning, they need distance. She didn't lose me when she asked for space. She lost me when she assumed I'd still be there when she reached back. I didn't move states to escape her. I moved to make sure I never had to answer again. And this time when the phone stayed quiet, I knew exactly why.